You've known them for years. You've worked with them, laughed with them, maybe even introduced them to others. And then it happens. You see their face, you feel the recognition, but their name? Gone. Your mind goes blank. Your heart beats a little faster. You stall. You hope someone else says it first. And afterward, you think the same terrifying thought. Is something wrong with my brain? If you've been forgetting names more often lately, you're not alone. Millions of adults, especially over 40, report increasing difficulty recalling names. It feels personal. It feels scary. And for many, it triggers fear about cognitive decline. But here's what most people don't understand. Forgetting names is one of the most common and most misunderstood memory challenges. And in many cases, it's not a sign of dementia. It's a sign of how your brain processes information. Let's break it down. Your brain does not treat all memories equally. When you meet someone new, your brain processes multiple pieces of information at once. Their face, their voice, their body language, the setting, the conversation, and their name. But here's the catch. Names are abstract labels. They usually have no built-in meaning. If someone tells you they're a firefighter, your brain attaches that word to an image, a concept, a story. But if someone says their name is Mark, what does that mean? It's just a sound. Your brain prioritizes meaningful information. That's why you can remember what someone does for a living but forget their name seconds later. The hippocampus, your brain's memory center, is responsible for forming new memories. But names rely heavily on a delicate network between the hippocampus and the temporal lobes, especially the left temporal region responsible for language processing. This network is surprisingly fragile. As we age, even normally healthy brains experience slight slowing in retrieval speed. The memory is often still there, it just takes longer to access. That tip of the tongue feeling? That's retrieval delay, not memory loss. Your brain stored the name. It's just struggling to pull it out quickly. But aging isn't the only reason. Stress plays a major role. When you're anxious, distracted, or overwhelmed, your prefrontal cortex, responsible for focus and attention, becomes overloaded. If you weren't fully present when you first heard the name, your brain never encoded it properly. You can't retrieve what was never stored. Think about how introductions usually happen. You're in a busy environment. Background noise. Multiple conversations. You're thinking about what to say next. Maybe you're self-conscious. The person says their name, and your brain barely registers it. Seconds later, it's gone. This isn't cognitive decline. It's divided attention. Sleep deprivation also impacts name recall. When you don't get enough deep sleep, your brain struggles with memory consolidation, the process of transferring information from short-term storage to long-term memory. If you met someone late in the evening while exhausted, their name may never have fully transferred. Another factor is digital overload. Modern American life bombards the brain with constant input, notifications, emails, scrolling, multitasking. This reduces your brain's ability to deeply encode information. Surface-level processing leads to weak memory traces. Names require deep encoding. There's also something called retrieval interference. As you meet more people over your lifetime, your brain stores thousands of names. Similar names compete with each other. If you know 5 people named John, your brain may hesitate before selecting the correct one. It's not forgetting. It's sorting. However, persistent difficulty recalling names can sometimes signal deeper issues, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like repeating questions, getting lost in familiar places, difficulty managing finances, or trouble following conversations. Occasional name forgetting alone is rarely a red flag. But let's focus on solutions. Because the good news is this: you can train your brain to remember names better. First, slow down during introductions. When someone says their name, pause. Repeat it immediately. For example, "Nice to meet you, Sarah." Repetition strengthens encoding. It forces your brain to process the sound again. Second, attach meaning. Create a mental image or association. If someone's name is Lily, imagine a flower. If someone's name is Baker, imagine bread. The brain remembers images far better than abstract sound. Third, use spaced repetition. Say the name again during the conversation, then once more before leaving. Retrieval strengthens memory pathways. Fourth, visualize the name written across their forehead. It sounds strange, but visualization activates additional neural circuits. Fifth, reduce distractions. Make eye contact. Silence your phone. Be fully present. Attention is the gateway to memory. There's also strong evidence that physical exercise improves memory retrieval speed. Regular aerobic activity increases blood flow to the hippocampus and enhances neural connectivity. Sleep, as always, is foundational. Deep sleep strengthens memory traces. If you consistently struggle with recall, improving sleep quality can make noticeable differences. Nutrition matters too. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, support neuronal membrane health. Antioxidants from berries reduce oxidative stress. Stable blood sugar prevents energy crashes that impair focus. Hydration is often overlooked. Even mild dehydration can reduce cognitive performance and slow retrieval speed. Another powerful tool is mental training. Learning new languages, practicing memory exercises, reading complex material. These activities strengthen neural networks involved in word retrieval. Social engagement also keeps name recall sharp. The more conversations you have, the more you practice retrieving names. Now let's address the emotional side. Forgetting a name can feel embarrassing. That embarrassment triggers stress. Stress increases cortisol. Cortisol interferes with retrieval. The next time you try to remember a name, anxiety blocks access again. It becomes a loop. The solution? Normalize it. Everyone forgets names sometimes. Even neurologists. Even memory experts. It's a normal limitation of how the brain prioritizes information. Instead of panicking, calmly say, "I'm so sorry, remind me of your name again." Most people appreciate honesty more than awkward guessing. Confidence protects memory performance. There's also an interesting phenomenon called the Baker/Baker paradox. Studies show people are more likely to remember someone's occupation as a baker than someone whose last name is Baker. Why? Because occupation carries meaning and imagery. The name does not. This proves that the problem isn't your memory. It's how the brain encodes abstract labels. As we age, word-finding difficulties can increase slightly. This is called normal age-related retrieval slowing. It does not automatically indicate dementia. The key difference between normal aging and pathological decline is severity and pattern. Normal aging, occasional name retrieval delay, but memory returns later. Concerning signs, consistent forgetting of close family names, forgetting common everyday words, difficulty recognizing familiar faces. If you experience those symptoms, consult a healthcare professional. But for most people watching this, occasional name forgetting is a training issue, not a disease. Your brain is plastic. Neuroplasticity allows you to strengthen retrieval networks through repetition and practice. The more intentionally you work on memory skills, the stronger they become. Here's a simple daily practice. Each day, recall 3 people you interacted with. Say their names out loud. Visualize their faces. Strengthen the connection. Over time, you'll notice improvement. And here's something hopeful. Many studies show that people who actively worry about their memory often perform better on cognitive tests than those who are indifferent. Why? Because awareness increases effort. Caring about your brain is protective. So the next time you forget a name, don't jump to worst-case scenarios. Ask yourself, was I distracted? Was I tired? Was I stressed? Did I attach meaning to the name? Small changes in attention can dramatically improve recall. Your brain is not failing you. It's responding to how you use it. Names are fragile memories, but they're trainable. The real danger isn't occasional forgetting. It's chronic neglect, poor sleep, high stress, no mental stimulation, isolation. Protect those areas, and your name recall will often improve naturally. Your brain wants to remember. It just needs the right conditions. So tonight, choose one habit to strengthen your memory. Be more present in conversations. Sleep a little deeper. Move your body. Eat brain-supporting foods. Tiny changes create measurable results. Forgetting a name doesn't define your cognitive future. But what you do daily does. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Brain Signals for weekly science-based tips to protect your memory and sharpen your mind. Your brain is capable of more than you think when you give it the support it deserves.